Hello everybody, welcome. This session is on arithmetic sequences and these questions have been taken from the book Revise AQAG CSC Mathematics. So the first question is, here are the first 5 terms of an arithmetic sequence: 3, 7, 11, 15, 19. Write down an expression for the nth term. The next question says, Karen says that 89 is a term in the sequence. Is she correct? Give reasons for your answer. So the first part, what do we do here? We have been given 5 terms of the sequence, right? So what I'm going to do is uh, we'll try to think that if T1 is 3, T2, these are the terms of the sequence, is 7, the difference is 4. Okay, so if you see the difference between each term in the sequence is 4, so what should be Tn? What should be nth term? If the difference is 4, then is n plus 4 the nth term? How do we find out? So if n plus 4 we say is the nth term, then if put n equals 1, then the first term of the sequence should be 5, which is not the case, so it's wrong. So can it be first term is 3? How do we get 3? If we put n plus 2, then we get if n is 1, then T1 is 3. But what about T2? If n is 2, T2 becomes 2 plus 2, 4. So that's wrong. Okay, so it's not working. So then what are we going to do? If we put in as 2n, so plus 1, what do we get? If we put 2n plus 1, then and if n equals 1, then 2 plus 1 is 3. So the first term is 3, which is correct, but the second term will be 2 times 2 plus 1, that is 5, which is wrong. So it is not 2n plus 1 and it is not n plus 2. Okay, so we have to, let's look at using a minus sign. So if we do it with a minus sign, what happens? If we have n minus 1, it's obviously not going to work. N minus 1 is not correct. N minus 1 is not correct. So n, because if we do n, 1 minus 1 would mean the first term is 0. Okay, so T1 would be 0, which is wrong. So if we do 2n minus 1, what do I get? I get then if n equals 1, then 2 times 1 minus 1, that is 2 minus 1 is 1. So that's not right at all. So if I do 3n, that is minus 1, and if n is 1, I get 3 times 1 minus 1 is 2. So that's not right. So if I do now 4n minus 1, what do I get? If 4n minus 1, I will get at n equals 1, 4 times 1 minus 1 is 3, which is right. Okay, so if I go with 4n minus 1, what do I get? But I should get 4 times 2 minus 1. If I do for the second term of the sequence, if n is 2, then it should be 4 times 2 is 8 minus 1 is 7. 4 times 3 minus 1, 4 times 3 is 12, minus 1 is 11. So it's working out pretty well. If I do the fifth term, which is 19, I should get 19. So 4 times 5 minus 1 is 20, minus 1 is 19. So the nth term, we have worked out the nth term of the sequence, and it is 4n minus 1. I've written better in a better way. So you can see the answer I did. So that is what I gave you the explanation, that if T1 is the first term, then not if T1 is the given first term, T2 is the second term, so Tn, or the nth term, should be 4n minus 1. Okay, so I've already given you the explanation why that's the case. The next part says that 89 is a term in the sequence. Now, is she correct? Give reasons for your answer. So to explain this, what should be the answer. For 89 to be a term of the sequence, it should be that 4n minus 1 equals 89, and I should be able to work out what n is. But if I do this, then 4n equals 90. N is in fractions, because 90 divided by 4 will give me 22.5. So that is wrong. So 89 is not a term in this sequence. That's what is my answer. So what I have done is, and this is my explanation, and I have also written it down. Okay, so if 89 is a term in the sequence, then we shall be able to write 4n minus 1 is 89, and to calculate which term of the sequence it is. Okay, so the answer should give a whole number, not in a fraction. So because its answer is not a whole number, it's in a fraction, so n is not a whole number, so 89 is not a term of the sequence, right? So the next question I have is, they have given us another sequence 26, 23, 20, 17, and they're asking us which of these is a formula for the nth term of the sequence. Now that's quite easy to work out. All you have to do is to find out any of the terms you can do. If we start with 1, it's always easy to start with n equals 1. If you put n equals 1 in each of these, and work out what the first term comes to, then whichever one you get 26, you will see it's not 26 for all of them. For only one of them it will be 26. So for whichever one it is 26, that will be your correct nth term of the sequence. Okay, so that is the way to do this. So what I do is this. So we see that if n equals 1, then the first term of the sequence in this case is 29. Okay, so which is wrong? Again, if you put n equals 1, then the next term is 23, which is wrong, which is, again, if I do n equals 1, I get it's 30, sorry, 29 plus 31, 29 plus 3, that's 3, sorry, 20, it's not 31, sorry, how am I doing, it's 32, but anyway, that is wrong as well. It's not 32, it should be 26. So if you put it as n equals 1 in minus 3 and plus 29, you get equals to minus 3 plus 29, which is 26. So this is your correct answer. Okay, so no, it's not 23. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Sorry, minus 3. Yeah. So that is, yeah, that is 23. Sorry about that. So yes, so that's 26 minus 3 is 23, 29, and the next one is plus. So 29 plus 3 is 32. Okay, and then minus 3 and plus 29, when you do that, put n equals 1, you get 26, which is the first term of the sequence, which matches with 26, so that's correct. The next question is saying, work out the first term of the sequence that is negative. Now the term we got is minus 3n plus 29. Now that this is the nth term of the sequence. So if we try to think, what do I multiply to get the first, what do I multiply with 3? Or put n equals to get the first negative number, it has to be more than 29. So if n equals 3 times 5, 15, 3 times 10 is 30. So if I put n equals 10, so I get 29 minus 30, that's negative number. If I put n equals 9, I get 27 plus 29. So so that's what I have written here. So if n equals 10, then your 10th term is 29 minus 1. That's your first negative term. You get minus 1. And if n equals 9, then the ninth term, n equals 9 means the ninth term, right? So we get minus 3 times 9 plus 29, so minus 27, so that is 2, that is positive. So that is not correct. So this should be if n equals 10, that is your answer. So the first negative term of the sequence is minus 1. That's the first negative term. That's the question, isn't it? Work out the first negative term. Yes. So that is that concludes this mini session on sequences, and there are lots more questions to come later. So keep watching. Thank you for your time. Bye.